Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I dive in, I want to address some misunderstandings from my last video. I think some people might have misunderstood what I said. A few of the comments seemed to think that I was dropping out of my OCIA classes, and that's totally not the case. I am fully committed to finishing my classes and entering the church. There's no question about that. The only thing that has changed is where I'm going to be continuing the classes and why I'm choosing the traditional Latin Mass. So I'm making this video to be honest with you and share with you what's been on my heart. And honestly, I'm sharing this video because I know that there's a lot of people right now that are making the same types of decisions, especially those who are converting or maybe even just thinking about converting. Maybe some of you are curious about the Latin Mass. Maybe you're just researching. Maybe you're just confused about Catholicism altogether. So I want to be really open about my journey because I want to be able to help people who were in the same position that I was a few months ago. So one of the biggest reasons that I'm so drawn to the Latin Mass is because it's part of something ancient. This is the same Mass that has been celebrated by saints, martyrs, and generations of Catholics. It's really not something you find everywhere either. And honestly, I feel so blessed that I live close enough to be able to attend one in the first place. Every time that I go, I feel like I'm just stepping into something timeless. It's really sacred, and honestly, it's helping me grow in my faith. And I never really expected that. Another reason is community. The parish that I've been visiting, going to the TLM there, is much smaller. And after only a handful of times going there, I've actually met more people there than I have met at the current parish that I've been going to for the last few months. It's actually much easier for me to talk to people in the smaller environment than in a really big crowd. Okay, then there's my OCIA classes. At the TLM parish, the classes are actually taught by the priest himself. And there's literally only 2 people in the class, including me. It's very quiet, it's very personal, and I can actually ask questions and understand what's being said. Before, the classes that I've been attending for the last couple months is over 70 people, probably maybe even more than that, and it's taught by several different people. Also, it's such a big, large room. There's no microphones or anything like that, so I feel like I might be missing some really important information. Just on a side note, I actually suffer from severe hearing loss, and I actually qualify for hearing aids, and it's really hard for me to hear in a large setting. So that's a little bit concerning for me. And despite them having a PowerPoint presentation and everything, it's just, I don't have the opportunity to ask questions and follow up with stuff like that. You actually have to come back on another day to ask questions about what you learned on Sunday. So quite frankly, I feel like it is such a gift to be able to have almost like a one-on-one experience with the priest there. I feel like I'm going to get a lot more out of it. Additionally, he does teach the class, but then they have a series of videos that I can watch at home, which is awesome because I can put on the closed captions there. I can stop, I can rewind anything that I want to write down. So I can really go at my own pace. And that is a godsend, believe me. Another reason is that this parish actually offers an apologetics class 3 times a month right before Mass, which is really cool, especially since I'm making all these videos. Truthfully, I really want to understand the faith. I'm not doing this to just go through the motions. On top of that, there's actually a chance for me to join the choir to learn sacred music and Gregorian chant, which I love. This feels like such a natural and beautiful way for me to serve the Lord. As some of you know, at my previous church, I was leading in the worship band, and that was my ministry, was music. And I had to walk away from that, and it left me feeling really confused because I'm sitting here going, well, what am I going to do? I don't really have a way to serve the church. And so this might present a really great opportunity for me. Not only that, but I'm going to be able to learn liturgical music and the Latin language, which attending the Latin Mass, I should probably get familiar with it. Now, I want to address some comments that I got on my last video, lovingly, of course. Some people accused me of being rebellious against the church, and that's not the case at all. Even flirting with schism, just because I want to attend the traditional Latin Mass. I fully accept the authority of the church, and I do not reject the Novus Ordo either. I think it's beautiful and it's completely valid. But what originally drew me to Catholicism was how ancient it is. It's universal. There's a sense of continuity. And this has been passed down from generation to generation, and there's just something so special about that. And so when I learned that the Novus Ordo was only about 60 years old, I kind of looked into that and I realized that I was actually really longing for the ancient expression of the faith. So this isn't about division or superiority. It's about reverence. It's about history. And it's about what's helping me grow in my faith and get closer to God. A couple things that really stood out to me about the parish that I've been currently attending is that it's quite modernized for a Novus Ordo. As you've seen in one of my other videos where I took my friend to her first Latin Mass, I attended one that's actually a Novus Ordo in Latin. And that was very reverent and I really enjoyed that. I do know from what people say that there are a lot of Novus Ordo masses that are extremely reverent, and some even say that you can't really tell the difference between a traditional Latin Mass. Quite frankly, I don't really have that available to me. There's only one Catholic church in the entire town that I live in. It's really not an option. I'd have to drive like over an hour away to have like a more reverent Novus Ordo, if that makes sense. Now, one thing that makes me really sad is the amount of division within the Catholic Church. It really shouldn't be like us versus them. If someone really feels closer to God by going to a Novus Ordo, that's beautiful. If someone goes to a traditional Latin Mass and feels closer to God, that's also beautiful. I don't see what the problem is with either one. We're all part of the same church, and that's what we need to remember. Now, I've come across quite a few videos on YouTube of people who are highly critical of Novus Ordo, highly critical of Vatican II, highly critical of the decisions of previous popes that we've had. And they're really negative. I've seen a couple videos of theirs and I just have no desire to continue to watch their content because it's just really negative. I'm well aware that people can get sucked into these little rabbit holes of information that can really frustrate them. In fact, I've actually read a couple of comments from people who have said that they spent years feeling frustrated and angry and they finally just let go of the whole thing and started attending a Novus Ordo and they're much happier now. And that's great. But what I'm also seeing is that some of the Catholic churches, what I've noticed, even from just watching videos online, is that it kind of resembles like what Protestant churches have. So much division in the denominations, but also how each service is. Like you can go to one Baptist church and it's very traditional, and then you could go to like an evangelical church and it's like really modern with like fog machines and lights and everything. And so I feel like the same thing could apply to Catholic churches as well, where you go to a traditional Latin Mass and it's traditional, but then you can go to these other more modernized Novus Ordo masses where they're playing guitar. So for those of you who do comment on my videos, I just want to thank you. They're very helpful to me. And I just want you to know that I do read them all. If you see a like or something on your comment, that means I've acknowledged it, I've read it. But sometimes things get lost. It doesn't go chronologically. And so sometimes I might not have the opportunity to reply, but don't think that your comment hasn't been read. Really? And honestly, the reason I'm making these videos in the first place is to evangelize. I'm not here to cause controversy. That's not my interest at all. I mean, I'm no longer in the music ministry that I was at my Baptist church, and that was my way of serving the church. So now I'm actually really fortunate enough that I have the skill to edit videos and that I have the time to make these videos and research everything that I talk about. I really feel like God has opened this door for me as another opportunity to really help people. So that's where I'm at right now. I am going to be continuing my OCIA classes and I will continue doing weekly updates on those, so don't worry about that. I'm going to be growing in this community. I'm going to be going to this traditional Latin Mass and learning all about that as well. So honestly, please don't judge me for this decision, and I'm not here to judge anybody else. I just want to make that clear. We're all on this journey together, and my prayer is that we're all going to grow closer to God in the process. Whether you're a cradle Catholic or you're a Protestant just researching things, or you're in the process of converting like me. So please don't forget to subscribe. And while we're talking about subscribing, just so you know, most of the people who watch my videos actually aren't subscribed to my channel. So please subscribe, that helps me out a lot. Don't forget to comment down below. Tell me your thoughts about this whole situation. They are very helpful, and I will see you next time.